Welcome back to It Resolves, where we play a new deck every single day. Today's deck is Selesnya Teleportation. What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another standard gameplay video. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope the week is starting off strong. I'm hoping to get back on track because we lost every single game in the previous video with a deck that I sadly created. It's fine, it happens. But we're trying something a little bit different today. This is Selesnya Teleportation Circle. Now, this is built by Power Dragon, who I will link down below. If you've not checked out his channel, please make sure you do so. And Power Dragon, thank you so much for sharing this over on Aether Hub. I think this is a phenomenal deck. I love Teleportation Circle, but I personally have never really gotten it to work. So today is hopefully going to reset that and get us to a point where we can really capitalize on it. So the way that this works is you get a lot of creatures with enter the battlefield triggers. At the end step, with Teleportation Circle on the field, you can exile a target artifact or creature, and then it's returned to the battlefield under its owner's control. And so what you're able to do is essentially just gain tons and tons of extra value off of all the things that have ETB triggers. So Professor of Symbology, as an example, allows us to repeatedly learn a lesson. If you look at something like Yasharn, we're able to fetch up some lands, of course. Esika's Chariot allows us to throw out 2 more cat creature tokens onto the battlefield. We've got Inspiring Overseer, draw a card and gain a life. We've got this. Prosperous Innkeeper, which gives us a treasure token. We've just got tons of stuff. In the top end, of course, we do have Titan of Industry and Sanctuary Warden, as well as just a Workshop War Chief, all of which are really, really good with this. We do get to run Doomskar in the deck, which is kind of interesting, but I think a necessary evil. While we do have Skyclave Apparition, there are a lot of decks that we kind of have to be able to sweep for. And because of, some of the planeswalkers that we're able to throw out here, we can actually rebuild relatively quickly. We do also have the Fateful Absences here just in case. And truthfully, what would be really awesome is we throw Emeria's Call Out and then Doomskar, but that's a pipe dream for sure. In the land slot, we do have 2 Cave of the Frost Dragon, a Seat of the Empire, and a Boseiju, along with a Lair of the Hydra. So kind of a really nice, just mid-rangey style deck that happens to capitalize on the Teleportation Circle. And I'm kind of hoping, because there's just a lot of really good solid threats and really good on-curve threats, that we can hopefully just capitalize on that. And if the Teleportation Circle lands and it works, great. But regardless, I think this looks like a really just fun and kind of fair-ish deck aside from the Teleportation Circle. So we're going to see how this one goes, guys. Again, I just want to say a huge thank you to Power Dragon for sharing this list. He did create it, so credit where credit's due, of course. But I just want to try and take it for a spin, see what we can do. So let's jump into some games, guys. Let's see our thoughts on this awesome deck. All right, guys, here we are for game number 1, and kind of an interesting hand. Obviously a little removal heavy, but we do have the Prosperous Innkeeper. Part of me wants to give this a shot. With the potential for mana and plenty of very live draws in the deck, this seems like a relatively easy start. Oh. All right, well, we did it. I don't know what that was about. Let's go to game 2. What's up, guys? Before we jump into the next game, I just want to remind you, if you would like to pick up this month's Patreon rewards, feel free to do so at patreon.com/itresolves. All right, guys, hopefully we actually get to play this round. And yeah, I mean, this is a pretty I think a pretty good keep. We do have pretty high drops in the hand. We'll probably throw this out for the land turn 1. And then turn 2, we've got that Professor of Symbology. We do have the double white for the Wandering Emperor as well. So it's really just a matter of drawing at least 1 more land to get us to the Wandering Emperor, and then we'll see what we can do. We do get the, if the Professor of Symbology lands, we do get the Environmental Sciences, which is helpful, of course. So we'll try and go that route. No clue what happened in that first game. No clue at all. I guess they just had a bad hand. I don't know. But let's see what we can do this game, guys. Hopefully we actually get to play. Let's see what the opponent's up to over there. Guys, I do hope you're having a fantastic week. I hope everything's going well for you. We do have our giveaway going on right now, so I just want to remind you, if you're interested in picking up a free draft booster box of Battle for Baldur's Gate, you certainly can do so. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel. That's literally it. We do have plenty of other options, though, for entering that giveaway. So if you want to give yourself the best options for it, make sure you check out the video. We also have an article over on our website you can check out that just has all the details there. So just a suggestion, of course, but I think it would be very beneficial for hopefully everybody. Let's go ahead and guarantee the land. I'm just going to do this. Technically, we should have waited, but that's fine. We'll just attack him for 2. Don't expect this professor to stick around for very long, truthfully, but it's okay. Interesting. 5 color. Well, this will be fun. So this is the Prismatic Bridge deck, if I'm not mistaken. I have played this deck, and it's a bit of a frustrating one, if I'm honest. Let's see if they actually block. If they do, it's kind of fine. Excellent. So I'm actually just gonna hold up the Wandering Emperor here. I kind of wanted them to block, so we're playing the Wandering Emperor into basically a free board, which is, I think, going to be the case for the most part. I mean, yeah, they've got this stuff, but that's about it. We'll get to the end step, and then we'll go ahead and do this. We'll drop the 2/2 here. Seems easy enough. Ooh, I do like that. So let's do this. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and attack in. I love the fact that this has vigilance. That's obviously a really big plus for us. And I think we just play the Teleportation Circle. Really not positive. I'm gonna submit 0 here. I don't actually need to do any bouncing yet, but if we draw a land, we get the Sanctuary Warden down, and then all of a sudden we're actually in pretty reasonable shape here. Worth noting that they might just attack with the Goblin just to get the mana they need. I'm not looking at all of what they've got. So they've got red, they've got white, they've got green, they've got black. Yeah, so I think they probably have the bridge this turn. Which is a little unfortunate, but we'll see what we can do about it. Normally they wouldn't do this, of course. They could have just played it off of this. Oh, it's Kami War. Gotcha. Okay. Sure. So they're gonna get rid of that. That makes total sense. So, I mean, we definitely attack in. There's no reason not to. We don't really have another play. So unfortunately, I think we're just gonna have to do this. And again, I think we just submit 0. Very curious to see what they decide to bounce. The creature, huh? Okay. And then we have to discard a card. I think it's just that. So on flip, okay, so nothing happens on the flip of this. It's when it attacks that something happens. I apologize, I just don't play much with the Kami War, so that's one of those where I just want to make sure I fully understand what's going to be happening here. That does open up the play, though, of Fateful Absence on the reflection, which I do think we need to do. So the trick here is that they can give this essentially haste if they've got that on the field, so I'm not super into that idea. Ooh, okay, so, man, now we've got options again. Interesting. So we could just kill the Kami War, and then we don't really have as much to worry about. I'm gonna try and develop our own board more so than anything else. I think this is a better option. We also just get to potentially draw some stuff, which is very relevant. This is interesting. Okay. So they're gonna go ahead and draw a card. That's perfectly fine. So now we bounce the Sanctuary Warden. We'll do this again, and we draw 2 cards and get 2 1/1s. So now what's kind of interesting is we can actually Doomskar without losing anything. Because, I mean, aside from the 1/1s, of course, but that's pretty irrelevant at this point. Okay, they've got another Kami War. They're gonna exile the Teleportation Circle. Awesome. And they are going to attack. I'm gonna just block here. Now we do lose this though. That is kind of bad actually. I didn't really think that through very well. That's fine. Let's see, when it attacks, if any player does not have your graveyard, return that card to your hand. Okay, so what we're gonna do is shields up and destroy. We're gonna blow this up. Put a shield counter on you. So now they don't have just like a clean attack. We are missing the Teleportation Circle, but I think this is the best bet. They can copy the Manifest if they want. Oh, that was bad. Okay, well, that's annoying. This is a pretty sick game, honestly. I'm really into this. I like that they're using this slightly differently than what we were doing because we were actually, I think we just let them have the Fable. So what we were doing was definitely different. Do we? I think we have to do this because I know this just equates to less damage, but we're gonna Doomskar this upcoming turn. So I'm kind of okay with doing this. Sure. This is actually fine because again, we're just gonna Doomskar, so they're gonna lose all that. Let's go ahead and do this. Perfect. Let's do this. I'm gonna go ahead and Inspiring Overseer. I probably should have waited on the Lair just in case, but it looks like it kind of worked out for us. Yeah, so I've played this like 5-color build, but not in this capacity. What I was doing was the Prismatic Bridge, which was somebody else's deck, to clarify. That was not our deck. That's very good. We can discard a land to kind of get rid of that. We do just have a Lair of the Hydra. I mean, it's worth mentioning that we can just attack for, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which is pretty relevant, but I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna Yasharn. Let's do that. So that'll pick up one of each land, which I think the deck thinning is relatively important. Let's go ahead and do this. We can discard a land for this, so I'm happy to get rid of a land here. That's fine. And then we can play the other land. Okay, not super sold that we're in a great position, but at the very least we know that they're like fairly low on resources, as in they've only got a couple cards in hand. They do have ways to draw quite a number of cards, but it's pretty mana intensive, and so we're trying to set up a turn where we basically get to attack in with a big Lair of the Hydra plus a couple of other things, and then not get them by any means, but definitely kind of force the issue that if they don't have anything, they're going to need to draw a card here. Thundering Rebuke. Okay. Yeah, you got it. This is a very hard-fought game, so regardless of the outcome, I'm pretty happy with this game. They've played very hard. We have also tried to do our best, so I don't feel like we've... I'm sure there were alternate routes, but I don't think we've misplayed too heavily. We may have, and feel free to point that out in the comments section. I'm sure you will, but I feel like we've played relatively smoothly for the most part. Now, may not always be the case, but we try. All right, so let's do this. We're gonna get the Kiki Jiki off the field. Let's do this. We can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then attack for 7. So this is, we do have lethal on board next turn, but they also have quite a number of cards in hand now, so they're gonna Thundering Rebuke. Makes total sense. That means they'll get a 3/3. They're also gonna draw some cards. Interesting. Okay, so they've got 3 mana available. What a fascinating game. This has been an absolute pleasure being able to play this game. This has been so fun. 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm just gonna go for let's just, all right, let's do that. We'll attack. Okay. Don't know that we play the land. In case they have another trespasser, which, I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't. I'd much rather be able to hold on to a land. We'll sandbag one just as a discard outlet. Okay. Kind of a ballsy attack, honestly, because if we just get like a Skyclave Apparition, we're in good shape, but unfortunately we didn't, but still. All right, well, I mean, the game plan at the moment is pretty clear for us. We don't really have another option. And so we're just kind of hoping for the best. I would love to just draw like any action spell at this point. Teleportation Circle, pretty bad. They're drawing through their deck pretty handily, so I have to imagine they're going to find whatever it might be that they need to get further into the deck. They also only discarded one card there, so I'm assuming they've got something. Okay, so again, good that we probably kept a land. Just in case we do draw a removal spell, we can discard for that. Unfortunately, they do gain some life in this process. Not great. There's the 2/2. Sure. They keep attacking. Fair enough. So they're playing that for no value, essentially. I mean, unfortunately, we just play this, but 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, our game plan is pretty clear. I mean, we definitely could just like wait, but the trick is, I don't think that's as good as being more proactive. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. I mean, we're pretty dead if we don't draw anything here. I'm trying to think what we could draw. Esika's Chariot would be kind of sick. Just to give us a couple points of life. Oh, that's terrible. Okay. Yep. Crap, they have a Skyclave Apparition. We had it off the top. Man, that sucks. Okay. That would have been so good. But yeah. Bad luck. We drew a lot of lands this game, which is fine. I mean, we are pretty far into this game, so that's perfectly reasonable, but like... yeah. Resolve, so they can double up on these. Yeah, I'm gonna go game them here. They definitely have us. I'm gonna go ahead and concede, guys. I hate that because that was a really good game, but we didn't draw what we needed and probably didn't play perfectly, to be honest. But regardless, it was a fun one. Let's jump into one more really quickly. All right, guys, here we are for our next game, our third game, I believe. We'll see if we can get 4 in. It depends how long these last, but this is a pretty easy keep. The question is, I think we actually lead with the Skyclave. Shipwreck Marsh to begin. Interesting. Okay, let's see what happens. Ooh, interesting. Oh, well, this is gonna be interesting. Okay. Don't love seeing this. Target legendary creature becomes a god. Okay. Interesting. All right, well, let's see what happens. This should be fascinating. What is this? Okay. Very interesting. All right, let's drop you. I think we just throw this out. I mean, alternatively, we can Prosperous Innkeeper, which I guess sets up for an Elspeth Resplendent the following turn. Maybe that's better. Skyclave Apparition is kind of good to just get rid of this, but I think this is just a more setup kind of play. I don't know, this is strange. Whatever this, oh, good. Is this Reanimator? I don't like Reanimator. All right. I mean, I do. I love playing Reanimator. I hate that we're against Reanimator. Yep. Cool. Yeah. So let's see. Whenever artifact, instant, or sorcery. Okay. Well, this is gonna be a problem, guys. All right. Let's do this. I think I will Elspeth. I'm gonna do the minus here just to kind of build up the board a little bit. What do we do? Might be Professor. And it actually might just be... Got a lot of good options, actually. It might be Reduce. So here's my thing. What we can potentially do is Reduce to Memory, countering it, and then Fateful Absence, or reverse, whichever one needs to happen. But the idea being that we can potentially take care of that. We'll see. Not super optimistic. This is definitely going to be a rough one. These Reanimator lists are just so good, and if you don't have tech against them, I mean, there's just not a lot you can do. Now, certainly we have got some options, but they're not exactly ideal. There's the graveyard shifts. Yep. All right, so let's think. We can do this. I'm gonna do that. Just to shields up a little bit. So this gets countered. Oh crap, we definitely did this in the wrong order. That was silly. We shouldn't have destroyed it. We should have exiled it. That was really dumb. Because now they can just obviously repeat this process, and yeah, that was silly. What we should have done is Fateful Absence, let that be the one that gets countered, and then exiled with Reduced to Memory. That was so silly. Okay, well, that was a mistake, and now it comes back. Okay, cool. Yeah, that was not good. That was definitely a mistake. All right. Bad plays, bad plays, bad plays. Okay, so... We're gonna have to shields up here as best we can. All right, let's get either one of them out. Doesn't matter too much. Sorry guys, I am very quiet because I am very much thinking about what needs to happen here. So they're doubling up on Tainted Indulgence. That could be a lot worse, so while I don't love that, at least it's not a removal spell. That could certainly be a lot worse. Still not great, obviously. Ooh, they got Velomachus or whatever in the graveyard, so... They do have the instant speed availability, although they just lost it by playing that. So what I mean is they could play Graveyard Shift at instant speed with the mana that they have. However, they did not make that happen this time, so that's actually fine. Let's do this. The shield counters are like surprisingly helpful. Let's do this. Let's get that out of there. Think we Teleportation Circle. Does this get countered? No. So I'm gonna Teleportation Circle. That's just gonna get countered, so there's not a huge point in doing that. Okay. These do not have flying, so this is not a free attack, but it is a good attack. Teleportation Circle pops off. I actually think it's this Skyclave Apparition. So they do get a little thing here, but it doesn't really matter. Let's take this to shut down their card draw. Whew, what a game, guys. This is a struggle. God, this Jenga Taxis, man. Yeah, that's really good. Can't do too much about that. They just get to attack and play a thing. We did lose our flying counter on the Skyclave Apparition. That's actually really helpful to know because I wasn't sure that that was how that worked. So, fair enough. You got me there. Okay. Man, what a game. We're probably only going to get... This is definitely going to be the last game. I know that first one was, like, not a game at all. But this is definitely going to have to be our last. So this is really bad for us because we can't give things extra counters. And this is just a big old 5/5, so... Oh, they get to return as well. 2 things. Cool. Oh no. Alright, there's Kyrie. Elspeth is down. Fantastic. Alright. Land is not very good. Gets countered. Why did that not... Does it have to be non-token? Yeah, it does. That was dumb. Why did I do that? We gained a couple life, but that's literally it. We should have just hit the Professor. That was silly. Oh, man, what a game. We're also not playing super cleanly, guys. It's very apparent that we could have done this a lot better. I don't know that we would have won the game, but we definitely could have played cleaner. There's no doubt about it. If they attack with Kyrie, we just take 6. We're at 30. Not terribly concerned with our life total as much as I am them really taking over the game elsewhere. Okay, cool. Yeah, you got it. Plus side is the extra trigger isn't really doing that much for them, and here if they do hit a spell that like reanimates something, it kind of doesn't matter. Okay, well, that's really bad. Good lord. All right. Yeah. I think we just kill that. I don't know. It really doesn't matter that much, but I think we kind of have to take the kills when we can get them. Oh, excuse me a second. There we go. All right, let's see. What can we even hit off of this? The trick is, like, they just get to counter everything. That's kind of the problem here. I'm only taking this because it's, like, more mana efficient than a lot of other things, and we don't have better options here. Alright, so let's do this. Get to learn again. So this time, I think we take this, expecting that to be the thing that gets countered. I don't know, guys. This is tricky. This is so tricky. don't know what the right call is here. Yeah, they get to double Angel Fire Ignition. I mean, we're just dead, right? Like, we've got to be dead here. Trample, Lifelink, Indestructible Haste. Yeah. Okay, sure. Why not? Curious to see if they attack with Jin-Gitaxias. Nope, probably not. Jeez. Okay. We're gonna kill this Skyclave Apparition. Yeah. So now they get a 2/2. All right. I don't know. I'm trying to think what we could draw. Technically, Doomskar would like buy us a turn, I guess. It's not good though. Like we're basically dead. So this gets countered. We did this so we could be semi-mana efficient, but like, yeah. Man, so sad. This was such a hard-fought game, though. You know, honestly, I'm not upset. We tried really hard. That was a great game. I'm going to go ahead and concede. Well done, opponent. Let's talk about this deck. All right, so again, I just want to say a huge thank you to Power Dragon for sharing this list. Unfortunately for us, we did not pilot it super well. For sure, but unfortunately that means the Teleportation Circle continues to not be my favorite card in general. What I will say though, what I liked about this deck that is different from a lot of other Teleportation Circle decks is it's kind of just a good Selesnya deck that happens to be able to run the Teleportation Circle for added value. And I think sometimes you kind of you start building around the Teleportation Circle, and then if you don't have it, you end up with things that maybe aren't quite as good because you've tried to synergistically build around that circle, which is good. I mean, that makes total sense. But if you don't have it, the deck doesn't function as well. Whereas this deck, I think, just functions relatively well just as a decent mid-range deck. Unfortunately, it did not work to our advantage this time, though. So I will say it's definitely missing some major pieces that I think are important in Standard right now, in particular, exiling graveyards. I mean, yeah, we were up against a Reanimator deck, so it's really easy to call that to attention, but more importantly, there's a lot of stuff right now that does deal with the graveyard. The graveyard is a very live part of the game still in Magic Standard right now, and so it's just something to consider that there probably should be some amount of like exile effects. I'm not sure what the answer is, but there needs to be something in my opinion. All that to say though, it's a blast of a deck to play. I do really like the Teleportation Circle edition. Even in that last game where we definitely lost it, we were able to like hang in there a little bit because we were able to bounce things like the Skyclave Apparition, like the Professor, things like that. And so while we definitely needed to play better and cleaner, that was 100% on me. I think we could have at least put up even more of a fight if we had done things maybe in the right order. So all that to say, still a blast of a deck. Absolutely enjoyed it. One thing I will say, one major misplay, if we had exiled that Jin-Gitaxias, could you imagine? We actually would have had a shot. But regardless, it was still a fun time. So thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you again to Power Dragon for sharing this list. I hope you enjoyed it despite not doing super well with it. But regardless, I do appreciate everybody watching. I love you all very much. Have a fantastic day. I'll see you later.